Greetings, dear Aquarius. Welcome to Tifa's Tarot, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And today we're going to take a peek at your general reading for Scorpio season. So Scorpio season started on October 22nd and lasts about a month until November 21st. So Scorpio season, and I'm talking about this from the perspective of the Northern Hemisphere, so that's the disclaimer. But it is that season of fall, right? That's the season where the leaves are falling from the trees, and it transforms into winter where there's a stillness, right? Where there is just almost like a death. And in tarot, Scorpio sign is associated with the card of death. Now, death is obviously not a finality. When we are discussing about the laws of the universe, death is not a real concept where there's an ending. Death is discussed as a transformative process. So even scientifically, when we think about this process, it is energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy it transforms. It transforms from one state to another. So that is the symbolism of Scorpio season, okay? And when we think about it on a spiritual level, there are many cultures that also celebrate this time where there's this understanding that the veil between the spirit world is very thin around this, right? And so that's where we get the term from Hallows Eve or Halloween, right? And this is cultures from the Northern Hemisphere that are celebrating this, right? That have this understanding of this very powerful time. But when we think about it, of how it applies to our own life, we can understand that it's a really, really great time to kind of tune in into our spirit. And when we talk about spirit, spirit is usually discussed of things that we cannot see or understand from our tangible eye. Now, more personifying it more for ourselves, I think about this as more of our intuition, right? We can't see our intuition. We just like understand that it operates, that it works in some way. But that is like how I attributed spirit, okay? Now, what is guiding your spirit? Now, that is a different story. And this is a time to really hone into that, to see what is guiding your spirit. Is it something that's authentically aligned to what you want to do? Is it something that needs to be checked? Are there checks and balances in that? So this is a really great time to really seek transformation in some way. It's a great time to really face your inner demons, or to soothe your shadow self, and to really nurture yourself, and to see the ways and your shadow of where you need to be nurtured, your vulnerability, where you need to be nurtured and cared for and healed. And it's also a time to really face uncomfortable truths about yourself and your life and how you're living, okay? So that's going to be the nature of this reading, okay? We're going to be looking at the theme of what I've pulled is going to be Scorpio themed. So let's go ahead and do it. I have prepared a 5-card spread for you, and we are using the Hermetic Tarot to pull these messages. And the Hermetic Tarot is actually from the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn. I thought this was a very appropriate deck, simply because it's an occult society that has a lot of esoteric information about spirituality. So pulling it seems very fitting for this type of season. Now, of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging with just giving you information for the hell of it. We're going to leave you with some advice from the Spirit Animal Oracle, okay? So we'll pull one card from that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, 5-card spread. Let's go. Let's first set the intention that this is for the sign of Aquarius. So if you have Aquarius and it is in your sun, your moon, or your rising, then it is my sincerest intention that this reading may resonate with you in some capacity, and that you're able to receive these messages and apply them to your own life, always and only for your highest good. Let's get into it. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius. Okay, first question is looking at what are you being called to shed or put to rest in this season? What are you being called to shed or put to rest in this season? What are you being called to shed or put to rest this season? Okay. So the main thing I got for you here is this 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is associated with your workspace. This is your This is what you do to grind. This is your grind. This is making money. Oh, these are just some powerful messages right here. Three of Wands, that's all about forward movement. This is like waiting for, okay, hold up. I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let me just soak in the messages. Hold on. And Judgment. Okay. I think the prominent message here is you have the Eight of Pentacles. So crowning your energy is about like a work relationship. This is about you hustling, you bustling, you busting your ass for whatever you do to make money, whether that's a business, whether that's a job, even if it's staying at home, whatever it is, and you could be a stay-at-home mom or dad or whatever, but whatever it is like you really hustling, you doing what you need to do for your livelihood. Now, with this Three of Wands, this talks about like this expectation of things kind of coming into fruition, looking for things to kind of like you've been putting in so much work. It's like you've been toiling, and it's almost like you have an expectation of the results that you're going to receive. And so I feel that with this Judgment, it's almost like you have a very narrow or specific frame of reference for what you are looking to kind of receive into this, okay? So what that could look like is, when we talk about this Eight of Pentacles, okay, the Eight of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Judgment. And we're talking, the question is what you need to shed. So I'm going to say, you need to shed I think you need to shed the expectation of, you need to shed expectation. I feel like there's a certain quantity or quality of something that you're looking to receive back, and that might not be what you get. And so there needs to be something that you need to evaluate more of your work ethic, and to not have such a narrow frame. My words. You need to not have such a narrow expectation of what you want, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, you're working hard on a job, because I'm getting like big job energy from this, okay? Something to do with your livelihood. You're working hard on a job, and there are perhaps certain expectations that you want to have from this job. You're looking for A, B, C, or D from this job. Maybe you don't get that, but maybe there are other things that you get, because maybe your idea of what you want is a little bit too narrow, and maybe it's shutting you out from seeing, because the Judgment card talks about a realization. It's a reckoning. So it is you seeing one of two things. Is either you seeing that like all of your hard work is not getting you the results that you want, and so maybe you want to kick rocks. Maybe you were like, hey, I want to go deuces, okay? But it could also mean that maybe like the scope of what you want to see is not materializing, but that doesn't mean that your contribution is invalid. There could be means or ways that you're not looking at that are valuable in your contribution. So there could be that issue where your expectations are too narrow for what you want to see. So you could be forced to kind of like broaden your horizon to see like all the things that you actually are getting back, that you are contributing, and that are coming back to you. So it could be one of those two things. And I'm thinking like for some reason for the Aquariuses that I'm reading for, I feel like honestly it's more of the expectation of wanting to see things and just being disappointed by it. And so now you're in this stage, you're in this judgment phase where now you have to be like, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I worked my ass off to get this, and I expected to have this, and I don't have it. So that's money, that's recognition, that's easy, like whatever, an easier workload or more money. Like, I think I already said money, but whatever those incentives are, whatever those motivations are, you're not getting it. So there's something that, and I'm saying that because it's coming up in your, it needs to be shed position. It needs to be let go. And I don't want to get long-winded about it because I do want to finish this reading. That's what I'm going to say. So, question number 2 is asking, what is being renewed or rejuvenated within you this season? What is being renewed or rejuvenated within you? Okay. Oh, Aquarius. Okay, so your first crowning energy was the sun. So the sun is about being optimistic. That's about seeing the greater side of things. Seeing the world with a glass half full in that sense. But it came out with this Eight of Swords, which immediately indicates that you're being blocked from that. You're being blocked from seeing the ways in which you're blessed in some way. You're being blocked from seeing the ways in which and what you can contribute with this Empress card. Empress is the eternal mother. This is like the world's mother. It gives the nourishment that we all need to exist and survive, right? And so I feel like there is something fundamental, and I think it honestly relates to this last message as well, where it's like, if you feel jaded about your work, because work is the first thing that I get in this, and if you feel jaded about your work, what's being renewed in you, I feel that something happens in Scorpio season where you are given the opportunity to be to shift a perspective to being a little bit more optimistic about your position and things. But I feel like there's something there that kind of blocks it. Now, I don't know, like sometimes when we talk about the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords could be self-imposed blocks. The Eight of Swords could also just be not being able to, or other people blocking you. So this could be blocks coming from the outside or from within. But then I get this Empress, and this is a very maternal energy. This is a very nurturing, creative, fertile energy. And it talks about being renewed. This is in a renewed position. Don't hold yourself back from showing love, from showing grace, from being optimistic despite disappointments. And I know it's so hard. I know it's not like, it's so hard to get up and smile and to be like, when you just feel like life is not meeting your expectations. That's extremely difficult things to do. But I do feel there's some type of blockage in your energy, because there is an opportunity for you to be like elevated, to feel better, to be lifted, and to maybe have a change of fortune when you embrace this role of being optimistic and just like seeing things in a different way. So maybe I think there could be like this understanding of a perspective change that needs to occur here. So that's in your second position of what needs to be renewed. Now, let's look at third. So third is like, this is a helpful reminder, a helpful guide to help you in this transformative process. So we do know, so what we know already, okay, what we know already from this reading, you stress the F out at work. You're not receiving what you kind of want from this, and it's almost like you need to just let that go, because the more you harbor on like why you're not getting what you want out of a work situation, I think there's a self-reckoning where you're like, there's more value on what I'm doing than just than what I was previously expecting. And so you're going to be renewed by stopping yourself from seeing that, seeing the brighter side, seeing all of the things that you're contributing within that, and seeing the ways in which you nurture and in which you fertilize your environment, okay, and how you enrich things by giving the love and the light of what you have to give, okay? And let's do a reminder. So this is the reminder or the guide to help you with this transformation. Because dear Aquarius, I really feel like you are being so blocked. I do. Okay. You're so intelligent. And this is honestly like your card as well, that King of Swords. You're such an you're very, very, like, Aquarius is known for having a very unique mind. Can sometimes become across as very cold-hearted, but I don't think that you are. For the Aquariuses I'm connecting to, I don't think that you are. I think you actually are burdened by the amount of love that you are carrying on you. I do. So I say this because this reminder that you have is that you have an amazing intellectual capacity. And what you have to realize is that not everybody has that. Everyone doesn't have that quality, that of the thought, of that higher level critical thinking that you have, Aquarius. Everybody doesn't have that. And so you need to be reminded in the ways of how you are gifted on an intellectual, higher minded way of thinking. But that also needs to be balanced with a little bit of love. Because that Queen of Cups, because I'm getting so much like maternal energy here. So much feminine, just love energy. Because that Queen of Cups is like this understanding of, when I see these two together, the King of Swords doesn't really care to love. The King of Swords cares about what's right, what's rational, what's reasonable. But the Queen of Cups cares about what people feel, what people think, how you feel, how you think. So there's this precedence for both of them are kind of fighting, right? Because it's like your head is on top of itself, right? Where it's just like, I want to rule this, I own this. But then your feelings are just, because they're also part of you as well. And they're butting in and they're like, hey, I'm here too. It's not just about what you think, it's about what you feel. So and this is so burdensome because 10 of Wands is all about being like overly burdened by this. Okay. So I feel like you do feel burdened by that, because I feel like that's the nature for the Aquarius that I'm connecting to. That is the nature of where you are right now at this time of life. You have such a high capacity for intellectualism and critical thinking, but also a very open heart. And it's so hard to deal with, right? With that 10 of Wands. It's so difficult. So let's move on to the fourth. What's vulnerable and what's vulnerable within you and what needs some love and some attention for this season? What's vulnerable with my Aquariuses? What is vulnerable? Now, there's a vulnerability. You got the Page, or what we call the Princess of Pentacles here. Now, this Princess of Pentacles, this is about looking for opportunities, but looking for opportunities in that are tangible. It's about going out in the world and finding those opportunities. But being a little bit hopeful of it and kind of like waiting for those opportunities to come. And I feel like you are jettisoned in that direction. You really have a direction of what you're powerfully going into a path on which you want to find the perfect opportunity for you. Okay. And it's like your biggest thing right here is this King of Pentacles. So the biggest priority for you right now is establishing your financial future. Because the King of Pentacles is all about like that gives that energy. If that's the IRA, that's the 401k, that's retirement. Like, what do you want to do in the next 10, 20, 30 years, right? So, oh, I'm so sorry. That is not that. I'm so sorry. That is not the King. This is the Knight. The Knight of Pentacles. I did not read that correctly. So let's restate that. The Knight of Pentacles is not necessarily about that. The Knight of Pentacles is more of a diligent character. So this is like showing up every day to do the things that you need to do. This is like your everyday action. This is your schedules, your routines. What do you do every day? I feel like you're very vulnerable here. There's something about what you do every day. You're looking for an opportunity, and it's just like you feel like you're Oliver Twist. Like you're just like, more porridge, bossa. Like, because that's what that Page of Pentacles is. It's like you feel like so pitiful, like looking for like opportunities. But you're a powerful person because you've got this Chariot card. So like your mind, and we've already established like what a high capacity in which your mind works. And with that Chariot card is really like catapulting you into a direction. Like you have a path that you want to take. But it's like the things that are coming to you, you feel like they're a little measly. They're a little measly. But yet, you show up every day, you diligently do what you need to do, and you're doing you're doing it, okay? And so I feel like there's something about that routine, there's something about that essence of that path that you're taking that you need to just kind of like stop for a moment and just enjoy life. Maybe do nothing. Or also it could just be like you need to, I'm getting like tired, really like feeling this energy that I get from this. It's like you need to, it's like you understand or you know that you're capable. Because you're very forceful about going into a direction. But I feel like you are struggling with knowing how you're going to find the opportunity. There's some uncertainty here. And it makes you feel very vulnerable. And I think you need to really heal that. And you need to heal it in a way where there's an understanding that all things happen in God's time. It's not when you want it to happen. It's when it's going to happen for you. And so there is an element here where you just need to kind of sit back, do the work that you can, and let the universe, God, whoever you believe in, just kind of take over. I really do. That's really, really how I'm feeling. So our last card is looking at an uncomfortable truth. Let's see an uncomfortable truth for Aquarius. Okay, too many. Can't take all those. Oh, you're so anxious. You got a problem. And it's toxic. The way that you overthink, the way that you take things. And the High Priestess. Oh, Lord. And the thing is, you think you know. You think you know, but you don't know. So, Aquarius, what I'm getting for you, first card that came out is the Nine of Swords. So, you're an extremely anxious person. Now, remember, this is an uncomfortable truth. You being anxious causes you to act in very toxic ways that are off-putting to yourself and to other people. The devil is also about being obsessive about things. You're obsessing about things. And you have to remember that thoughts are things. What we think 100% manifest in our lives. When you think negatively enough, it happens. There's a great tendency for those things to absolutely happen. And so I think you need to take a higher mindset, because we got the High Priestess here. Now, the High Priestess is all about like tuning into your intuition, paying more attention to to the inside world, your spiritual world, and not necessarily your tangible world. Okay. So I feel like that this uncomfortable truth is like the fact that you overly stress about things of the tangible world. That's money, resources, jobs, your housing, your clothes, your whatever, your car, your this. It's like obsessing about like things here. And that's not what we're not put on this planet. Like, no one ever who has lived on this planet has died and been like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I had $1 million. I did this. I was able. No, you're happy about the connections that you make, your relationship with spirit and yourself, your relationship with those around you. Those are the things that are ultimately important. And I think that that's an uncomfortable truth that you need to realize, is that you cannot, I'm trying to like formulate this, but like, you can't overcompensate for material things, cannot overcompensate for your spirit. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now I'm gonna pull one more card from the Spirit of Animal Oracle, and this will be your advice that we'll leave you with. This is for Aquarius. Okay. Oh, Aquarius, you got skunk spirit. Know your worth. Know your worth. Please listen to this message carefully. This is for you, Aquarius. You need to know your worth. Period. What do you value? What do you believe in? Is your best, most authentic self on display? Skunk spirit comes as a reminder that you can be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Know your worth. Not everyone will agree with you or share your values, but you can walk with your head high, knowing that when you express your integrity, others can feel your authenticity and will be inspired by it. Be who you are, and if your reputation precedes you, good. You have much to be proud of, and Skunk Spirit wants you to be your best self, your true self. Very simple message, very straight to the point. Totally relates to this. My name is Tifa. I do tarot. Please do comment, like, and subscribe for additional content. If this resonated with you, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like. I'll also provide personal messages. I do tarot readings, basically. So you can book a personal reading with me. You can find more information in the link of the description of this video. And it's also in the about section of my channel. I love you, Aquarius. I hope you have a blessed and prosperous and transformative Scorpio season. Take care. Bye.